Hello, 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 everyone. It is time. It's time to continue working on this wonderful little project. Hey Kuiba, you're back. Welcome back. Kuru. Fantastic people. The peoples are fantastics. I think what I'm gonna try to get done today is some color shifts so we can start seeing a pattern. I also want to start maybe make it look dark metal. Hey Georg, good morning. And hopefully start on a side view so that we can start feeling the rhythm of parts. Hello ladsies, welcome. All right, it's 10 past on my clock. Let's do it. Okay, so the plan, like I said, set up a second material, add a little bit more color because currently, let's extend the arm a bit. Currently, what was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. Yeah, there's some tweaks I want to do. It's all just one color. I want to start making sure that there's a second material, second color. Let's make a correction layer actually, where we desaturate everything. Hey Baba220. Hey Morphia. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? So now what I'm going to try to do is start defining like the metal aspect or a second layer of information. And then I want to make the rest stand out from that a little bit more. So as you probably can see, we're starting to see like a better rhythm. I mean, obviously, maybe on the stream it's harder to see, but hopefully, with this correction layer, I can then make a selection and flip the selection so that I can treat the other parts so that they will feel darker. Because currently, Hugo, kan du gå iväg och göra med den? Inte här. For some reason, my son decided it's a great idea to have the noisiest toy next to my office. Bless the guy. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Hey Mila, how's it going? Glad to see you. Nice. There's this saying, you look, what was it, nice from afar but far from nice? That's not obviously applied to you, Mila, but there was no connection to you. It just made me think about it when I was starting to talk. It's nice to see you. As far I see you from afar, but far from nice. Maybe I'm butchering it. Maybe I'm just stupid. Overlay did not do what I wanted to do. Ooh, color burn kinda did. But if I tone color burn down, maybe it'll. Ooh, that's pretty nice too. Vivid light. Or that and erase. I think I need to do that and erase the silhouette. Let's go with this one. Hey, Mila, I'm good, thank you. How are you? I'm very happy to see you back here again. You've been missed, and now you're back, and it makes me happy. Glad to see you all returning people, by the way. So if you're not here and you return, I am happy about it. Now you see, it it burns the value a little bit. I'm not super keen on that, but I think I'll stick to it and see where I'll end up. It's kind of messing with the value range for sure, but I think so far it's a pretty okay thing. It doesn't break anything really. I mean, it does make things look weird, and it does gonna force me to have to go in the correct places, but it also does nice things to the darker tone metal parts, which I like. So I think it's a necessary evil. That's the wording you can use, right? And then I want to knock up a side view if I have time. So I can't really spend too much time on this treatment, I think, because it's important that this moves forward. That's really good, Mila. I'm glad that you're back. So yet again, this has happened. This is not the first time it happens, but it's just, if for those who follow on Twitter and Facebook, I wrote a post this morning because yet again another client used my own art as a reference, to be inspired by, and it's such a funny thing. Like, I never tell the client, and I'm contemplating. I mean, every time that happens, I'm contemplating, like, should I tell the client that you're referencing my own creations? But then many times I also think, like, nah, like, there's no point. The relationship between me and the client won't improve or be worse if I mention or not mention. So I tend to just leave it, let it use my own art as a springboard and do new things. But I wrote on the post, like, I wonder if they know, but I think majority of the cases they don't know. They're just image surfing, reference hunting, and see some cool picture and they go, yep, that's the direction we want. And I mean, how many times when you look at reference, do you look up who the creator is? That just doesn't happen. Elithenia, Yeah, exactly. I mean, in one way it's good. You know, you know that they like it. You know, which is great. Um, the other hand, because you're close to the art, because it's your own art, maybe you're reading too much into it. But it's never happened in my case, mind you. Like I'm obviously able to disregard the fact that it's my own art and not being caught up in that mind state I had when I created the art. I definitely able to put that aside so it doesn't hold me back. Uh, but yeah, it's fun to see clients using your own work as a, you know, in their ref pack or whatever. Okay, so let's try to put some behavior in the plastic. Let's see if I can't make it feel like a little bit more plasticky. Probably something like that. It has to be in a way generic because of I will need to mirror it. But it's kind of feeling a little bit more like plastic now. How the color breaks. Not that. Ladsies. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's a good thing that if they use your art as a reference. I mean, it's good for inspiration. And if people like the art, it's a good thing, you know. If they hold you to that benchmark, or they hold others to that benchmark of what you can create, you know, it's a little bit like a feather in your hat kind of deal, you know. And I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's, if anything, it's quite a good thing. Let's see. Let's copy that up to a new layer. Switch that on. Make a selection like so. And then, yes. Okay. Morphia, yeah. I got this. Don't you worry, Mr. Client. Oh, you want something like that? It's gonna take some time, but I think I might be able to give you something interesting. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, now we're starting to see a little bit of separation. I think that's good. I think it's cool to see. I really like the stomach. It became a little bit of like a happy accident, but the shapes are cool. I like the what almost looks like a pine cone design. It's odd. I would say I haven't designed a stomach like that before, but I like it. I like the look of it. So where are we with time? Slightly halfway. That's crazy. When you're doing normal 30-minute warm-up, it feels like you have half the day to sketch. Now I'm doing small tweaks and I'm already halfway, which is crazy. Ja, men vad har jag sagt då när jag sitter och pratar? Hey, good morning, Atski. How's it going? Okay, let's I think what's next is let's side view, at least start the side view. Let's give me a time frame. I think when we have got 10 minutes left, I think I need to start the side view so that we can at least get proportions down and so on. I really want to add some structure to the legs, and because currently they are just legs like that, right? I want to add some design elements, but I think that has to come at a later point. I want to have some mechanical shapes in the joints, but I don't know. I'm not sure about the shape of the legs still. I kind of want it to feel like a woman, but not too hippie, as in hip with hips. But we'll see. So 5 minutes left, and then side view. So ideally, when I jump on the side view, I'll be able to knock it quite fast, knock it up quite fast. I think it'll help define a lot of things in my mind when I see the shapes from another angle. Because currently now, I think when you're doing a front view, it's so easy to be caught up in your way of thinking in symbols that you don't see the forest for all the trees, you know. And I still would love to spend time going in and defining all these mechanical parts, but for the sake of the stream, I'm gonna skip diving too far into the whole zoom in and noodle everything. But I think it's important, and I think it's something I gotta do at some point. But for the time being, I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'm not keen on these exhaust holes. I think they need a cooler design. But like I said, I'd love to zoom in and start defining all these smaller things, but the time is not in my on my side. But I kind of like it. It looks a little bit like a dirty military green. And I really want to zoom in and fix the fingers and how all these design elements are supposed to work. At the moment, they're still just kind of hinting of the structure. I'd love to go in there and design the actual machinery there. Like this goes over that, this goes under this. Just go crazy. Let's see, the knees. The knees are actually not what I like them to be. I remember the posed version of the warm-up, and it had some nice shapes there. I'm not overly keen on the like hinting of muscles here. It doesn't feel correct. I want it to be slightly different, and I think I need some gray elements to point out that there's an end of the leg there. Some structure so that we see that there's a rhythm change. Hey, Ticum Princess. Good morning. Teacan Princess. Yeah, that's a good point. Some orange. That's actually a good contrast to the green. Let's just so that I remember. Let's give her orange eyes. So now I remember that I should introduce it. Good point. Thanks. Okay, some more blue in the plastic. Okay, where are we? 11 minutes left. Okay, I'm gonna do a mirror. And then we'll do the side view. Is this the middle? That's approximately the middle. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty good. Hey, DC Cool. Hello. How's it going? Okay, I think just a quick little thing before I think it's too much, too little of the head visible in the plastic. We gotta tone some of that down. Whoa. Something like that. Morphia. Well, the thing is like, I know where I need to go, right? I know it. We already have the post sketch defined. So when it comes to like changing things up, I know more or less the wiggle room I have to make things work. So when it comes to that, I'm not worried about changing things up. I know the approximate design, you know, so I can easily switch things up and play with the design and make the strongest choices, because if I don't do the decisions I'm making as I'm going along, I'm not critically making judgment calls, right, of what works and what doesn't work, because I think that's really important. That if you get, it's like smell, right? You smell something, someone cooking something, and you kind of get the idea of what it tastes like, right? But it's not the same thing as eating it, and especially not at cooking it, right? You yourself cooking and smelling it. So it's like you need to get the like the whiff of what you're cooking. Such a shitty analogy, but and then decide, okay, maybe it would taste better with onion. Maybe it would taste better with blah 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 blah. I don't know. It's just stupid. I went down this rabbit hole now. I have to finish the analogy. But yeah, you know, so that it's the same with concepting, right? So you get the idea, but then you need to start making decisions and creative standpoints of, okay, I like these shapes, I like this more than that, and then you remove it and then add another shape or another idea to the concept, so that when you do develop the concept itself, you'll be able to make it stronger, ideally. So I think it's nothing bad. I mean, if you're giving a concept to a client and the client goes, yeah, that's really cool, continue. They don't necessarily mean stop developing it and just make it more rendered, right? A lot of the times when they say that's cool, please continue, they mean keep pushing the idea. Bjorn, yeah, the salt. No, but it's important, like that as a designer or a concept artist, you're actually making decisions rather than just listening to someone saying that, yeah, that's good, finish it. You know, there's a place where you should just step back, having the design approved, so you don't need to do anything more. But then there's also points where you actually need to keep pushing the concept, keep changing things up and making it stronger. And that means sometimes to remove things you've already decided on, because it's just not work. It just doesn't work anymore, right? So that's an important thing to remember, is that a concept can change to some degree. Let's have a reversed thumb backwards. I think that'll help with posing. Let's actually dig that original pose up. I was thinking about that back leg, and I really like that, the way it had that little bend, like a little ankle of sorts. So the robot has an extra joint in the leg, which can fold in. I really want to design that, how it connects, and like how there should probably be some sort of claws system or attachment system. I think what would be cool to see, if it would be animated, is like how it sucks its own leg in, you know, how it compacts inwards. I think that would be a cool and could be a potentially cool animation. And the same goes for the arm, like what that looks like. Okay, we got 3 minutes left. Hey Lurib, how's it going? Fingerlings, thumb. And I just did a major mistake. Look at this. Whew, it wasn't a mistake. I thought I had all the lines on the same layer, but I didn't make the mistake. All right, so I want to show the back arms before the stream ends. So what I want to do is kind of hint that there's arms there on this view. Do that, and then copy the arm once more, and then show the arm one. Where's the joint? Is it another? Okay. All right. Let's do it like that. And then we have another hand going like that. Okay. I think that's pretty cool. Thanks, Morphia. And thanks, Hurri. Okay, so we got the starting to defining the side view. That's great. We can start developing the idea of that foldable second arm. I think that's great. I want to have the arm slightly not looking like an arm. So for however I can make that look weird. I don't want to have a hand. I want to have it more like the feet feel or the hands feel, like that they're awkward. So however I'll solve that, I've yet to figure out. One thing could be like an additional joint or extension to the elbow so that the elbow isn't connected truly to the arm, so it feels more like a tripod attachment of sorts. You know, so that it breaks that illusion of a elbow, really. If that makes sense. Okay, I can just copy that over. Okay. Yeah, I'd say we've done pretty good today. We started defining second material, started the side view, which I said I'd like to get in. Now the side view isn't at all where I'd like it to be, in the sense of defining everything. It's a lot of things are just suggested, but that is a smaller problem. I think easily fixed. Really want to show that curve, and then next stream, ideally defining the side view correctly, or switch straight to back view. Don't know yet, but the proportions are starting to come together. It's starting to feel like a cool, cool design. Like I said, I'd love to zoom in and start defining the technology better, so that it doesn't feel samey, and all these subtle, small little changes to the chest and so on. Because at the moment it's just suggestions of it. I think at some point I'm going to go in and define everything, but I think I need a back view first, so that we can possibly have to change the rhythm of parts so that it goes together as a whole better. Anyways, have a fantastic day. Good night, wherever you are. If you're in a part of the world that goes to bed now, or waking up, morning coffee. Either way, thanks for joining. Catch you on Discord, and see you tomorrow morning for continuation back view, probably, hopefully.